And I see that Aaron Menon is saying some people are visible through video. And I'm not sure, Aaron, what you mean and whether you want to change anything or not, but feel free to unmute yourself and join in if I didn't understand. Yeah, Ron and Jim are on video. I know, and quite frankly, anybody that wants to be on video can be on video. Unfortunately, you're probably going to have to watch me, though, as we go. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen and walk through some things at this point. And here we go. I got to get back to my. Now, can everybody see the LinkedIn that I have up there? Essentially, or I'll do this differently. Is there anybody that cannot see the LinkedIn profile that I have up right now? I'm going to walk you through my LinkedIn profile, and I'm going to share a couple of key things with you. First off, this is a LinkedIn profile. I think you're probably mostly familiar with LinkedIn and with the profile. And the bottom line is that I am set up, and you can customize this a little bit, but I am set up with all the people that I'm connected to. When they post and place things on LinkedIn, I'm going to see them similar to Facebook, right? In this what they call the feed, right? And you can see all these people. Shirley Hogsett reposted something that Vince Williams posted. Marie Herman, she's a Toastmaster, posted something that Jennifer Sanders had posted, and on and on. This is really the magic of LinkedIn, is the ability to get content that somebody wants to push on your screen. And the way it goes on your screen is if you're connected to those people, if that makes sense. So anybody that I'm connected to that puts content up, it will flash on my screen. Now, this is fleeting, right? This can go down. I mean, it would be miles long, all the content. And I don't mean to make you dizzy, but all the content that's posted. And if we look at, I'm gonna move to another page here. This is my home page. If we look at me and my profile, I'm gonna view the profile. You're gonna see, actually, I wanna view my network first. You're gonna see that up here on the left-hand side, I have 1,155 connections, which is a lot of connections. For some people, but don't be impressed. I've met people that have 29,999 connections. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I have a lot. But I think a lot of people are in the 150 range. I have 1,587 contacts. Then people that I follow, there are 6 of them. Groups, you'll see I am a member of 43 groups. And then I have 36 pages. So the important thing are 2 numbers here. The first one is the connections. I have 1,155 connections, and the second one is the groups. And I'm going to start with connections. What I'll say is that everybody, I'm going to go back to the home page now. Everybody that's posting something right here is somebody I'm connected to. Gigi Alfonso, I'm a first level connection with Gigi. And she's saying that she's honored to introduce ADP's 2019 HRO Emerging Leader Program graduates. And then she's got content here that she posted along with pictures and things like that. Now, I'm seeing that because I'm a first level connection with her. If I was not a first level connection with her, but Jim Dixon was, and Jim saw this, and then he went down here and he liked it, or hearted it, he thought it was insightful, he was curious about it, or if he made a comment on it, he clicked this comment button and added a comment, and I was connected to Jim, I would see it because I'm connected to Jim. So the whole point here is that the magic of LinkedIn is the ability to virally throw things out to your network and virally throw things out to other people's network that you're connected with. So if I know 1,100 people and Jim might have 100 or whatever he has, but if I'm one of them and he takes this post and he posts it or comments on it, then I'm going to see the post as well as his comment. And now if I decide to comment on it or like it or do whatever, then it's going to go to all those 1,155 people that are in my network as well. So You see how that can grow and spread. That's an important thing. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is groups. And I know I'm going fast. The whole idea is you post something, it's virally spread based on your network and the size of your network. If other people post on top of it or comment on it or share it, then it goes out to their networks as well. And that's how this grows. I'm going to go back to the network, my network, and I'm going to click on the groups. You see I'm a member of 43 groups. Now, what does that mean? The top group in my groups right here is Talk of the Town Toastmasters. Some of you know of Talk of the Town Toastmasters. It's a club that I joined. I was a founding member back 11 years ago, something like that. Over that time period, that club has never been below charter strength. It's always had strong membership. And this is a group that was started for Talk of the Town Toastmasters. It was started by Robert Heisey. He was a former president. In fact, he was the second president of the club. And he is the owner of the group. You can see there are other people that are listed as managers. James Zukowski, who was a former president but now lives in Connecticut, is still listed as a manager. Tony Livernoy, who was, he was never president, but he's still a member, but he's listed as a manager too. The point is, when you're an owner or a manager, you have administrative access to the group. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because groups can be a way to create some really excitement around something, and Toastmasters could be one of them. I will go back to my original groups page, and you'll see that I'm also a member of District 54 Toastmasters, that group. And I was mentioning to Ron earlier that somehow someone made me a manager in that group. Now, I should not be a manager in that group. I didn't know I was a manager in that group. It's nice. I have administrative ability. If one of you petitioned to join this group, I could actually approve your acceptance into the group if you wanted. But I want to make a couple points, right? Groups are great. And a lot of times people think, well, all I have to do is make a group and then people can join my group and I'll attract people to Toastmasters that way. But I disagree. The group is only as good as the activity that happens in the group. And I'm going to point something out here. This group is owned by Eddie Gachui. Eddie's no longer living in Illinois. He's somewhere far away. He's a smart guy and he's a Toastmasters, and I'm sure he wants to help. But you know what? He doesn't live here. He's not part of the team anymore. He's not part of District 54. So I don't think he's going to be actively involved. Second thing I want to point out, the last post was made by John Blaze. And if you look, he made this post 1 year ago. Do you see that 1 year? So the last post in this group was 1 year ago. Prior to that, let's see, Becky Zenko made a post. That was 1 year ago. Prior to that, Susan Ayers, 1 year ago. Nothing has happened in this group for over a year. Now let me go back to Talk of the Town. And you can see that this one, Christy Rufino was the last one to make a post, and that was 1 year ago. So not a lot's happening in this group. And guess what? The 43 members, if you start looking at who the members are, Robert's no longer a member. James is no longer a member. Tony's no longer a member. Lewis is not a member. Jimmy's not a member. Kristen's not a member. John's not a member. Mike's gone. Ron Jones is not a member. Daniel's gone. Jennifer's gone. Marie Dovin is gone. He's not a member. He is hey, look, we found a member. You know, we're way down here. So it's not really an active collective group of members. We'll go back and look at the last post. It was made by Christy, and it was 1 year ago. So again, having a group is not the answer. It's easy to make a group. You today can make a group and call it whatever you want. Elite Toastmasters of Illinois, whatever you decide to call it. You could be the owner, you can invite people to join, and you can have a group. But that's not necessarily going to bring people to Toastmasters, to your specific Toastmasters. So I wanted to make that point really clear. Here's what I think we need to do as Toastmasters in order to gain really excitement and participation around Toastmasters. It's less about forming these groups that get stale very fast, and it's more about sharing content. And there's two ways to share content. This may be overkill because some of you are probably already sharing content. But I want to do, before I go there, I want to do one other thing. I'm going to type Toastmasters into the search bar and see what comes up. Now there's something in here, some algorithm that's trying to match me up with people that are geographically close, that have common interests, that we share something. And I have a first connection, Arturo Ventura or Venecia, who's he's got his own business. I think he works for a bank as well. And look, he's currently VP of Public Relations for Argonne Toastmasters. That's in District 54, I think, isn't it? Club 128. Bottom line is Bobby Dillard is in here as well. And then Ron Cordy, you're listed as well. And that's because it's looking at people. I could look at content for Toastmasters, right? Same search, see what comes up. Oh, look, he just won a speech contest. Someone else is posting, deeply honored, excited to be given an opportunity to present at the Toastmasters El Paso meeting. For a lot of people, the logo in the background represents the Grand Aguadi, a well-known hotel chain in India. There's probably something in Toastmasters in this message somewhere. Someone received this Advanced Leader Bronze Award, and they posted it. But you know what's funny? If someone had posted something about Toastmasters in my hometown of Batavia, or if someone had posted something about Toastmasters even in Illinois, it would have likely been much higher up on this list, and where Arturo's is, right below that. Because look at El Paso got up ahead of us. What that tells me is that nobody's posting things about Toastmasters, or at least none of the people in District 54 are necessarily posting about Toastmasters.
Hey Lino, what happens if you would type in Toastmasters Chicago and see what happens?
Well, let's see what happens. And Ron, you're supposed to save all the questions to the end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you can see it's bringing up people. If I look for content, it's going to bring up content. Let's see, Chicago State University, Michigan Avenue Toastmasters. Let's see, Ari Gunsberg. Let's see. He's a keynote speaker. And I don't know why it brought him up. There's something in here that brought him up. Distinguished Toastmaster here. It's official, August 2nd, 2019. She's a Toastmaster where? Dynamic leader. District 103 of Chicago. But you see how the algorithm's finding things that it's trying to find are most relevant for me. My whole point was, if we create content, as people search for things, they're going to find stuff that's closer and more relevant to them, more relative to them. People that they're connected to, you know, with one or two levels of separation, or geographically concentrated, or some other reason. So the bottom line and the final point is that the way for us to attract people to our Toastmasters is to either post, which is just writing something, right? Or write an article. And I'm going to show you both. To do a post, it's really, really simple. You basically say, start a post. Now you can write whatever you want to talk about. I'm excited, you know, to attend tomorrow's meeting where, you know, Ron Cordy will give a speech on how to predict the future. I could add a picture, a video, some other content to it, and then I would post it, right? I would just hit post. It would appear in this feed. I could also write an article, right? And that gives me a lot more functionality because I can press that button, but really what I'm doing, I can actually create it in some other medium like Word or something, cut and paste it here with images and all kinds of other things for final impact, and then I could publish it, and it would go up as an article rather than as a post from me. Now, I'm going to go back to my profile for a second to show you a couple of things. That the reality is this is a really strong way to get content spread throughout a network, right? So if you look at my profile, you can see I have, let's see. First, I'll click on this one. And basically what I found was someone is promoting basically they're promoting an activity, an event that they're going to have. It's actually tomorrow night. It's downtown Chicago. And I went on and I commented on the event. Several people have reacted to the event, liking it. You know, they've given it a thumbs up. But I actually commented on it and I just said, this looks to be a great event. Now, what's happened here? Anyone that's kind of loosely related to this group, right? This was not a post. This was an article. It's going to come up on their feed. When I saw it on my feed, I commented on it, which means that it went to the feeds of everyone that I'm one level connected with. So if I'm connected to them, Ron, if I'm connected to you, this came across your feed because I commented on it, right? And it will look like this, where, you know, we saw a little bit ago where someone, this person, Elmer Rafi, commented on this. So it just shows, you know, that he did that, right? So it comes up, the article comes up, but it comes up under the person that actually, I didn't get it from him. I got it from this person, and all she did was give it a thumbs up, but I'm connected to her, so it comes into my feed. So the point here is that when I commented on that, saying it looks good, it's going to go to those 1,155 people that I'm currently connected with. Now, here's another one. This is an example of my friend Freddie Flores made a comment on this post that was from another person or actually it was I take it back. This is an article that he found, right? He found this article in Crane's Chicago Business. He linked to the article, left a post or some commentary on it, and then I posted, because I thought it had relevance to a nonprofit I work with called 2020 Women on Boards. And I commented on it. So now Freddie, his whole network saw this. Now my whole network saw this with my comment on it. And in my comment, you can see I've actually left links to other things that I wanted people to go to. And this is just an article about this 2020 Women on Boards that has a link to go to the sign-in page. And I hope I'm not making you dizzy following all these links, but this is where you want people to go to, right? Because you want them to sign up to go to the event or whatever. So mine also has, you notice I put the link to the article I want them to go to, but I also put the link to that same sign-in page. So as I click that, it takes us back to that Eventbrite sign. So all of that said, my point is that to me, this is the magic, right? So now I want Ron to go in and say he's looking forward to the Advanced Expressives meeting that's coming up, you know, a week from Saturday. And there's a rumor that Ray Termini is going to give a fantastic speech, right? Once he posts that, because I'm connected to Ron, I'll see it, and then I will go in and I'll comment on it, and I'll say, anytime Ray Termini is going to speak, I want to be there, and you should too. And here's a link to the web page for Advanced Expressives Toastmasters. Now, the algorithm is going to take Toastmasters, public speaking, whatever, and try and fit it to people so other people might be able to see that article. Does that make sense to everybody? And so if he leaves it as an article, it's going to generate a lot of posting onto really people's feeds that don't necessarily have a connection to Ron or to me. So, and I'm talking too much. I may be getting everybody confused. I want to kind of circle it back and say the magic of this is being able to publish events, meetings, things that are going on, whether it's speech contests or whatever, so that other people will see that and potentially then join in. So I'm muting that. I don't know what it is. So I think at this point, I'm going to ask if anybody has any questions. I went really fast, and I know it was probably like a roller coaster a little bit going through there. But what questions came up for everyone?
Yeah, Ron, Dick Poirier here.
Yeah, go ahead, Dick.
Yeah. It sounds, this has got a lot of similarities to Facebook. It sounds like. But one of the things I was wondering about was when you say you post it and it goes to somebody's feed, does it come in like in Facebook, I get emails if somebody has made a posting. How does, for example, if you did something and you put my name in there, posted it, and and then it came to me, how would I see it? Would it come as an email initially? Would I have to go to LinkedIn to see it? How does it actually alert me?
You pretty much have to go to LinkedIn to see it. Now, I'm not, super expert on LinkedIn, but what I would say is you can actually set your profile, your settings, so you can tell it what you want to happen, right?
Oh.
As things happen. So that would be an individual choice. You go to your profile page, to the settings, how you want your privacy to be, what ads you want, what communications you want from LinkedIn, and how you want it to push things to you, right? You want it to pop up on your device.
There it is right there, email you can do. Yeah, okay, perfect.
The thing is, there are so many, pieces to a feed. I mean, if you look, my feed's changed a couple of times now since we've been looking at it, right? It's telling me there's more posts. So all these posts keep coming up, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's been more than a dozen since we've been online. Right?
That's the concern. I guess that's the concern I've got is, okay, a Facebook thing came up. I didn't look at my LinkedIn for 2 days.
Yeah.
It ends up down somewhere near the bottom of my.
Right, and you're not going to see it, is the bottom line.
Yeah.
So if you're really trying to use this to promote, you almost have to coordinate. You have to say, hey, Ron, I posted something about the upcoming speech contest on LinkedIn. Would you go and like it so that all your people see it and so that it pops up, that type of thing. You could coordinate to do that. But you're right, Dick. Like I said, these feeds go very fast.
Yeah.
So that's difficult. But the other magic is that if it's an article or or even a post, and people are searching, that content gets pulled up if it has relevance, if there's lots of pieces of relevance. Hopefully I somewhat answered the question. Does anybody else?
Thanks. That helps. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else have a question that I can answer?
Lino, this is Arun. It's not a question, just a comment. So District 54, we have like 54 Toastmasters on the LinkedIn. And what I think is, to popularize LinkedIn as well as Toastmaster District 54, might be a good idea to send a common message, in the meetings, whatever meetings we have where we say, well, on LinkedIn, we are there. So if someone wants to go, so that way we can increase the number of people who have signed up to the District 54.
Yeah.
And have more connections.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a fair thing to talk about and to ask and to suggest. What I'd say is it's only valuable if people use it. So we could have 150 members in here. If people are actively posting and commenting and chatting with each other, it doesn't go to anybody else. Nobody outside of the membership is really going to see it or do anything. And I think it's a valuable tool. It's a great forum for people that are Toastmasters within District 54. But my personal feeling is that it's not going to attract new members, right? New members are only going to be attracted when we go out here, to the open area, and we actually either post an article, write an article, or make a post and comment on things that people either can search and find, number one, or that people will haphazardly fall across because they're linked to someone's network that's in here.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So I think groups have value if they're used. I think a lot of our district director is the manager of the District 54 group. So I think he should send a suggestion that everybody join and actively use.
Lena, I've got a question. If we have members in that group, D54 group,
yeah,
and things get posted, will that get seen outside the group?
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
So, you were talking about the general public versus being in the group.
Right.
So if you post something into a group, like this group right here, if you post something in that group, nobody really sees it other than the people that's in the group. Is that correct?
Right.
So I mean, that's to your point of the fact that you're almost better off just posting out in the big public area to try to, fish for new members out there rather than
Yeah.
trying to, just talk to ourselves in a group.
So if you notice on the screen, I just posted in the District 54 Toastmasters, and I asked a question, does anyone read this group page? So I'm going to come back here in a week and see if anyone's answered, number one, and number two, what's happened. But nobody outside of these 57 members is going to see that post.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying if we're about attracting new members, we need to go out into the World Wide Web of LinkedIn here and write articles and share posts that generate excitement and that connect with other people and that can be, really blown up because we all use our networks to send it out to people, that we know that aren't necessarily Toastmasters.
I guess the other thing would be is if we do have that D54 Toastmasters group and we invite, like if a guest comes to a meeting,
Yeah.
and we invite them to that group, then that would be a benefit to us. But we have to.
Yeah, Ron, I think it would, but I'm going to caution us because if I was invited to a group and I joined the group and I went and looked at the group and I saw that the last post in that group was a year ago,
I hear you.
I'm going to think, what the heck is going on with this group?
Yeah.
So what other questions are out there that I can answer? And by the way, I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I'll try.
Yeah, you hit something that's exactly right, I think. This is Victoria again. We got the same issue with Meetup. We got the same issue with Facebook. If we haven't keeping it fresh, we haven't got people who are actually actively saying they're going to attend meetings or posting or liking or that kind of. It really, if there's no activity, you're right. It's going to be dead to other people looking at it.
Yeah, these are powerful tools if we use them correctly, and they can attract a lot of people. I think if we offer up valid content, and that's the trick, is to get something that's valid and has value for someone. And the fact that I'm going to a meeting tomorrow is pretty valid content, right? Or for potentially for someone that's interested in something like that. And I'll go back to some of these really articles I've commented on, right? I'm just going to show you that.
So, Lino, you just got a response to your question.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Did somebody go in and respond?
Yes. Yeah, you have a like there.
Oh, somebody liked it. Okay.
So that's,
I see. Okay. Yeah, Arun, you liked it.
Yes, and so that's one of the things I did was a couple of weeks ago, I went into LinkedIn. I have my LinkedIn profile already set up. I just out of curiosity, I put in District 54 and this came up. So then I went in and set it up as a favorite, or yes, as a favorite on my page.
Oh, great. So I just requested that you join my network.
Perfect. Yes, I added it to my group. That's how I found out that there is District 54.
There you go.
And I think the more people do like this, eventually it will become popular.
I think you're probably right. It could. So articles. I don't have any articles. I have a lot of posts that I've done over time. And here's an interesting one to look at, right? I attended what they called the Daktronics Sales Expo. So I took a picture of the opening day materials and I said, I'm hanging out at the Daktronics 2019 Sales Expo today and tomorrow. I expect to learn quite a bit about digital message centers here today. And then I had a DAC Expo hashtag, right? 9 people essentially kind of gave it a thumbs up, right? Arbitrarily. And then one person commented. Let's see who commented. Jessica Byrne, who is the marketing director for Daktronics. Thanks for coming or whatever. And the thing is, though, 344 people viewed that post in the feed. So that means 344 people actually clicked on it, right, to go look or looked at it, did something about it. And that's the magic right there, right? Of the 1,200 or 1,155 people in my network, 344 viewed it. So here's another one where I registered for this Women on Boards event, a diversity event that I'm a member of the committee, and I just posted that I had registered for it, and you can see that again I have several people liked it, right? And they're just a random group of people that said, "Oh, that's neat." 2 people commented on it. You could see what they commented. They both happen to be Toastmasters, which is interesting. And then if you look, 318 people saw my post in the feed. So again, I'm pushing that out and people are looking at it. And every one of you has the potential to have people see your feed and posts. And we can virally grow understanding about Toastmasters by posting content that is of interest and can be of interest to people. So I think, you know, and Ron, I'm going to let you close this, but I think we're almost out of time. We're about to start dinner, as you can see behind me on the boat. The sun's going to go down soon out here, so I guess I'm done unless somebody has a burning question that they need an answer to right now. Sounds like they don't. Ron, thanks for letting me talk.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining tonight. Again, this is the first attempt at doing something like that, at least this year while I'm the PRM. So I hope to do many more of these. And I would very much encourage anybody's feedback on things to do and how we can improve this so it's beneficial to helping us gain new members. So with that, unless anybody else has any other comments, we'll call it a meeting.
So, Ron, there are no free speeches in Toastmasters. What credit am I going to get for this?
You get the credit of being recognized as a LinkedIn pro. How's that?
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for everybody for joining. Please share your comments if you have any. Send me an email. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.